We can start right now.
Okay. But so guys, I understand that for him to take the time, it's early morning there in the Philippines, and he's taking the time just to share with us, and to give us some insight on how to build and wherever this takes us. But I just want you guys to really understand how lucky we are in this company to be able to have one of the top, probably one of the one or two, I don't know. Um, be here on a call for our small team that is just starting to extremely build. So please pay attention, maybe take some notes. I know I've got my pen and paper ready, and I know Sheri does because she trained me well. Um, and so please help me welcome Jesse Macpherson.
Hey guys. So what's going on? Um, so we've got Susie. Good to see you. Linda, hello. Skylene. Is it Skylin? Skylin. Good. I got a thumbs up. So hopefully, so I'm assuming that's a Sean over there. So Ian, Bob, Letitia, Gemma. Nice to meet you. If you can't have your cameras on, I always love seeing those beautiful smiling faces. Always makes me happy. And obviously the one and only Sherry Sharman. So I am obviously I'm going to take a moment a little bit later to talk about Sherry because I don't want to like start weeping and go into tears and and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, we're here today. It's a privilege. And Rika, thank you for the introduction. It was such a pleasure getting a chance to see you in Dallas, and as we are kind of assembling the Avengers team, I kind of feel like is what's going on here. It's like individually we've got some amazing superpowered humans that are coming together here, but collectively coming to kind of fight off evil. I don't know. I know that's a weird analogy, but the idea basically behind it is that I think the world needs some healing, and I think it's gone through 5 years of some pretty interesting times. I think we can all agree, and whole world kind of hit a reset, and everyone's kind of. I don't think even though we're not locked in our houses, a lot of people are still locked up in their head in terms of what this new world's going to look like, and part of the reason why the purpose of Viago came about was the idea of the importance of community and bringing people together and from different walks of life. So I'm really grateful that you guys are all here. For those of you I'm just getting a chance to meet for the first time, I'll share with you a little bit about my background and my story and where we're going and how I believe you can really capitalize on this. Now, obviously, I haven't got a chance to talk to you many individually, so I don't know what your goals, your dreams, your aspirations are here, because everybody shows up looking for something different. Now, whether that's a couple $100, whether it's just, hey, I want to save some money, whether that's, hey, I want to go to Dubai, Habibi, whether that's, or whether that's, you want to go have a different level of freedom, so and how what that looks like. Some of you I know have had a lot of experience in this space, so this isn't your first rodeo. And some of you, this might be the first time you're stepping into this world. And now, whether you've been involved in the industry of network marketing or direct sales, or you're just getting started, you might have had success and know that you could repeat it or do it again or do it bigger and better, or you might have tried a bunch of things and never really got the result you were looking for. Um, so the reason I'm saying that is sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do a individualized game plan for all of you guys when collectively, we all show up looking for something a little bit different. So I say that to say some of the things I'm going to give you today are designed for those of you that want to go earn six figures and beyond as fast as humanly possible. Now, if earning $100,000 a year inside of your business quickly is not a goal of yours, then just know that some of the actions I'm gonna, say it's like, are probably not what you're looking for. However, if you want to go 2 miles an hour, that's great. But for those of you guys that want to go 200 miles an hour, I want to show you that. But some of it you can scale back. Now, I know Rika's giving me the raise the roof here because she's like, yes, please. So I want to share with you guys that. Now, some of you guys if you showed up like I showed up in this industry, the idea of making $100,000 a year from home was like, well, why not a billion? Like, is that even a real thing? And it's exciting today because I get to honor such an incredible human, because actually two that were the kind of the beginning of my journey in this space many years ago. So I'll do my best to kind of keep some of my stories brief, but they're just so important to me. And Some of you have no idea. And when I mean you have no idea, you have no idea, and you'll never know how lucky you are to be on this Zoom with 12 people. I don't even think there's 12, 10 people with Sherry Sharman. I just, it is still like, I'm still like pinching myself, baffled the fact that Sherry is on this Zoom, come out of retirement to work with a new group of people and dedicate her what she's so great at in her life force to can inspire another group of people, because she is really, like, in my opinion, like the godmother of network marketing. Like, she's not just a guardian angel of the profession, but like, and what she has done for me. And I have my personal story, which I'll share with you here, an abbreviated version of it. And then when we are all in Atlanta, around the bar, I will give you the longer version when we have a couple cocktails deep, and that one's much better. In any event, so give you my quick story. We'll hop into some things. Let's get you a game plan, because in 50 minutes, you guys have a presentation. And one of the things is this is I want to give you some time to be able to invite those last minute guests and do those last minute text follow-ups to get some more people on tonight's presentation, right? So anyway, my name is Jesse. Hey, I live here in the Philippines. We are in the process of getting the country really launched and operational, but actually the majority of my focus is not in the Philippines right now. It's through the operations of helping Viago globally, and working directly with everyone. I'm blessed to have an opportunity to uh, be well, let me go back in time. Anyway, originally from California, so not from the Philippines. Obviously, doesn't I don't really look Filipino. I was born in the Bay. I grew up in the sticks, though, in Northern California, up in the mountains, in a very rural city of about 400 or 500 people in a place called Calaveras County. Still to this day, they have one stoplight in the whole county. I grew up in a little town called Railroad Flat. We had 80 acres. We had a Christmas tree farm. We sold Christmas trees to the Boy Scouts and stuff. And I'm Jewish, so I think that's hilarious. So anyway, moved out of the mountains and the sticks into Central California, and then I made it to LA when I was 17 to pursue a background in entertainment. Was a professional hip hop dancer. I know. I didn't see that one coming. I know. So I saw, it's funny because the reactions I get, which is why I love people's Zooms having their cameras on, because they're like, I get it, everyone go, huh? Or like, what? Or, I get like the really. It's fun like that. But anyway, my mom was a dancer. My grandmother was a dancer, kind of ran in the genes. The jazz and ballet didn't hit it for me, but it was right around early 90s when hip hop started becoming super popular. So ended up, anyway, moved to LA, found a passion in teaching, and was trying to figure out how to pay rent, being a starving artist in Los Angeles, teaching dance classes. And I got introduced to my very first company in network marketing. This is May of 2002. So this is 23 years ago now. And I was 19 years old. I was doing desperately anything I could as a side hustle not to go wait tables, because I was between teaching and performing, and I was running a dance company and all kinds of things. But I fell in love with travel early on in my life. It was one of my biggest passions. I just wanted to have the freedom to be able to do that more. So this woman gave me a cassette tape. I don't know if you guys remember those. So that was a minute ago. And it was my first company. It was called Prepaid Legal, or Legal Shield. And company's still around here today. And what was interesting at the time is I signed up and I fell flat on my face. I was a zero on the scoreboard. And what I mean is I thought everybody was going to say yes right away. I was like, well, this is such a no-brainer. Why don't and I had my first no's and rejection. I was like, this thing sucks. I threw my kid under the bed, and I was trying to quit, but I had too much pride, so I didn't tell him. So I just ignored my sponsor and ghosted her. But she kept calling me every month to go to this stupid training, So, and I was like, I'm not going. I don't need to be motivated. I need to be paid. So, in fact, can I get my money back? I was at that point, and she kept for like 4 months in a row. So I had signed up nobody for 4 months. I'm like, and anyway, there was this one Saturday training, and she was like, "Hey, by the way," and before I could blurt out, "I'm not available," she was like, "I got you a ticket." And I felt bad because I knew the tickets were, expensive. And I was like, oh God. And I was like, all right, fine. So it was one of those like I'll go if you stop inviting me type of, pitches. And anyway, I go to this meeting. It's at the Long Beach Convention Center. It's August 2002. And I walk in, and there's about 1,500 people in this room, and everyone's in suits. This was not a casual company. They were very suit and tie, insurance oriented. I am a 19-year-old hip hop dancer, and I was not informed to wear a suit. So I walk in with cut off sleeves and like sneakers, and I'm so awkwardly out of place. So anyway, I sit in the back, arms crossed, and there are two people who get up on stage. One of the first people who gets up on stage, who kicks off the event, was this woman who starts talking about, your dreams and your goals and what to do and what not to do. And that was Sheri Sharman. So 19 years old. Now, one of the next guys who got on stage was another guy who was really fired up, who had this, big suit on and a big knot and a giant watch, and he was, yelling at everybody, and which was a guy named Muzaffar Nashfi. So, how crazy is this story, guys? Now, I I was signed up, not a part of their organization. They were working in a different line of sponsorship. So I'm 19 years old. It's 2002. I'm teaching hip hop classes, and I go to an event, and I get a chance to see on stage Sheri Sharman and Muzaffar Nashfi. Like, full circle craziness is what's happening right now for me, right? This is like a crazy world. And in that moment, they talked about what not to do and what to do. And it was amazing because I was like, okay, well, if they're right on what not to do, because I've been doing that stuff and it doesn't work. So maybe they're right on what to do. So I finally became, what we would call coachable. And I was like, just, teach me your ways, you Jedis, how are you doing this? Because it seems to be working so easily for you, and it seems to be so painful for me, and I don't understand. And they kind of, because of the event system, it took me under their wing. Now, unfortunately, Mazaffer and Sheri at that time, it was only a couple months later, actually ended up leaving that company and didn't inform me. They could have. You could have called me and said, "Hey guys, the residuals aren't really real." You're like, "Hello." I would have. That would have been a good heads up, but obviously we weren't close then. But in any event, the reason I'm bringing it up for us today is when I trace back, I was having a conversation about this with a couple other people about Sheri, about the impact, because Sheri and I were in Dubai and getting a chance to share a week with experiencing the product. And for those of you guys seeing the pictures and the videos, it was outrageous. So, by the way, we are planning the next playbook event for Europe, Africa, and Asia in February of next year. And everybody was like, can we just do Dubai again? So, anyway, if Dubai is on your bucket list, February 2026, put it in your calendar. It's going to happen again. We're going to repeat it with a lot more people. So we want you to be there with us. However, it was interesting. I was tracing back the conversations. And what I meant was when we looked at the amount of people that have gone out there and created companies, started companies, top leaders in the industry across the world, and it was almost like you could trace the majority of them and so many of them back to Sheri. And this is an individual who takes zero credit for anybody's success and what she's been able to do and accomplish. But legitimately, the path and the trajectory that changed my life forever. So why I'm saying this. So September 2002, I got a chance to hear Sheri, and my first goals I ever wrote down in my life, what I want in my life. Literally, my notes I cherish that I have been training on for 23 years, that I bring out my first notebooks. It's the only notebook I brought to the Philippines. I brought my Sheri Sharman notebook from August 2002 to the Philippines. That's how much I cherish it. It's like my second baby. I have a daughter named Phoenix, and then I have my notebook from Sheri. So and I'm being a little crazy on this, but I'm serious. Like I am dead serious. It's like because of that. So the game plan that I went on and the trajectory and the path that she set me forth on, that happened during that weekend. Within about a year, I was part-time in the business, and that next month I made a couple $100. That was a belief check. It was nothing spectacular. But then after a year of plugging into the program and the system and the event system and realizing how important events are, which is why Atlanta, we need to be, you need to be there. And if you can't be there, you really need to be there. Is where ended up being able to be full time. So since 2003, this has been 22 years now, I have been full time working from home. My income has come from network marketing. So this is pretty much all I did was teach dance classes and do network marketing. So now what originally was my first year making $15,000 turned into my second year doubling it to 30, and then my third year getting to 40-ish, and then my fourth year we went over 100,000 when I was 23 years old. And so I've been earning a six figure, multiple six figure, and then a seven figure, and then multiple seven figure income because of network marketing. And I'm a kid who taught dance classes making less than $1,000 a month. I've never had actually had a W-2 because of Sheri. So, and she will never take credit for this, but you are responsible for this kid, living a life of his dreams and being able to retire my wife before I met her, being able to allow her to be a stay-at-home parent, to be able to visit 50 something countries in the last year, to be able to buy my dreams homes and rental properties and take care of my family and pay for my dad's mortgage. And like if I went into the life that I get to experience. Now, it doesn't mean that it wasn't, all sunshine and rainbows, along the way. But I cannot thank you enough. The lessons that you instilled in me and imparted in me in that short period of time is what I have. Now, why am I saying all that? I didn't get to work with Sheri. I just got to hear from Sheri. Like, are you kidding me? So like I there and honestly, she was so big in that company at that time. It was like you couldn't even get like you had to go through security to get to her, Like I'm not joking. There like this is a real thing where it was like wh- you guys know, like it was like this like stardom. We were like, who is this? Like, can I touch the hem of the garment? You had to wait in line to take a picture. Now, Sheri, of course, would have stayed for hours, days, tired and exhausted just to be able to take a picture with everyone because of how much she cared about everybody's success to literally be launching an organization with her, obviously with Rikka. And by the way, I just need you guys to know how special this is to be able to use her for presentations, three-way phone calls, and invites. So if I could instill in you that one thing is this, is she's gone back to work, and the fact that you get to leverage her, and for how long, I don't know. I mean, so hopefully forever, but at the same time, um, utilize that. So that's first off. I want you guys to understand the power of where you sit, but also in the story of understanding the power of what an event can do, what one event can do. So for somebody, I was quitting, out, peace out, not coming. Now, what I realized later when I got there was she didn't buy me a ticket. She didn't say she bought me a ticket. She said, I got you a ticket, which means I found out later I was the free ticket because it was a buy one, get one free deal. So, anyway, we always do these BOGO deals, and part of it is because of this. Like I was the free ticket, and so I know how powerful it is to have a ticket to bring a new person for the first time. So, Atlanta being one of the most important points to be able to get to as our next event, and bringing as many people as you can. So, on this, and I'm just unreasonable. Most of the time, I'm very empathetic about people's situations in life and circumstances. I'm not someone who accepts excuses, but I do realize that there are real life things. Conventions are the one things that I am unapologetically a stand for people that that I am unreasonable and whatever reasons they have, I believe that there's a way for them to be there because I know that what it will do for you. And I also know the cost of not attending it, especially when it comes to your dreams and your goals. So putting that in your agenda, first off. Second thing is this. So building out this company for I was with Prepaid Legal for what, 10 years, 9.5 years. Anyway, and it was amazing. I really loved my experience there. Loved the value of the membership. I love a very purpose-driven, a mission-driven product. Something a product I still believe in, a membership I believe in till today. I still use. But in 2011, the company sold to a hedge fund in New York City. A lot of things changed. My upline left, started another company. It was kind of this whole debacle. Didn't know what to do. And I, at that time, saw for the first time what I would consider kind of more the dark side of the industry of network marketing, where I saw the people that at one point said they were your friend, and then the next point said, well, if you don't come with me, you're an enemy. I saw the people that said one day this is the greatest thing in the world, and the next thing it's the worst thing in the world. And I was like, these po can't both be true. So I don't understand this. I thought I was so confused because it was like pick a side. I saw people who at that point I was close friends with that literally could care less about my experience. And then I realized, oh, this is just money for you. And I just couldn't. I was so like distraught and disappointed. And I went into what I would say high functioning depression because I just didn't believe. And I thought we were actually family. That we say this all the time, but obviously we're not because of uh, anyway. So the reason I'm bringing that up is I was deciding to quit the industry. I was out. I was like, this is it. I guess I'm going to go back to teaching. I don't know. I was like, I'm going to go back in entertainment and take my skill sets. And now I'm in my late 20s and done. But what ended up happening was I got a phone call from a family member and said, hey, Jess, there's this company, that's out of Arizona that you got to see. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, it's called Secret. And I was like, why are you being secretive? No, no. He's like, no, the company's called Secret. And I was like, well, what is it? He's like, it's a skincare company. And I'm like, okay, like, why are you calling me about lipstick? And he was like, it's not lipstick, it's skincare. And I'm like, what's the difference? And I'm so naive to this, right? And he's like, no, 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 you got to meet these people are different. And I was like, no, they're not. They're all the same. I was so negative, right? But at that time, I had fallen in love with training and education because of what I'd learned from Sheri and what I'd learned from Mazaffer. So I was like, well, if they're a new company, my ex was interested in the product. And anyway, I had zero interest of looking at it. But when I got home, she was like, hey, I think this is the company. And she pulled out the secret Dead Sea lotion that was in her dresser. Now, the reason why this was a funny story is I just told my brother-in-law, I'm never looking at this company. Product companies are stupid, and no one really buys the product. They're only in it for the opportunity. They don't last. I'm just being negative. And anyway, there's no real customer. So I get home and I'm already a customer. So foot directly in mouth. And so I end up flying to Arizona. She was looking at the products. I was trying to pitch myself to the owner to potentially be a corporate trainer because that's the only thing that made sense to me at that point in my life. Because I'm not doing network marketing and I'm definitely not doing skincare. Give me a freaking break, right? So I fly out to Arizona. I get picked up from the hotel to go meet these owners of this secret deal. Anyway, driver picks me up. He starts asking me questions. He was like, "So, where are you from?" I was all California, and I was like, "Yeah." So, uh, but my wife, she's open to taking a look at this. I'm not. I'm just, skincare is not my thing. I'm actually here to be a trainer, blah blah blah. And I was like, "Oh, how long have you worked for the company?" He was like, "Oh, I'm the owner." Oh, I didn't, because I didn't know I didn't say Isaac. I didn't have a picture of him. I never assumed the CEO of the company was going to pick me up from the hotel. So we get to the meeting, and this was in October 2011. Uh, you know, and they were in the process of transitioning their retail business into network marketing, into Secret Direct. And I was a hard no, but I heard the story of Isaac and his family and his community. And I was so like, I didn't want to like it. I'm more and more angry because not because of the skincare. I was like, okay, this makes sense to me. But when Isaac shared his vision of his community, of building a wealthy global community that's of service to the world, and the situation that happened to his family, where 20 of his friends came from Israel to save his family from a catastrophe and a crisis of basically being homeless in the United States and turning a crisis into a successful business, and their dedication to serving the people that made them who they were. And then not just saying it, but visually watching it when I got invited back to a Shabbat dinner and getting a chance to bring my mom and a couple of my friends. Actually, I bought a spy. I called one of my friends and I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm gonna go to Shabbat in Friday in Arizona. He's Israeli." And I was like, "I need you to come." And he's like, "Are you trying to recruit me?" And I was like, "No. Here's your job. Don't tell him you speak Hebrew. You need to come to Shabbat and listen to all of their conversations and tell me if you think these guys are really who I think they are." Anyway, about halfway through Shabbat dinner, he starts speaking Hebrew with Moti, Isaac's older brother, and I was like, Andrew, and he was like, "Oh, you're good." But anyway, I got a chance to experience for the first time in my life what I was looking for, which was truly where the business and family of contribution and service really existed. Because I was taught many years ago, service to many leads to greatness. Unfortunately, I had experienced a lot of places where I was seeing selfishness led to money, even if it was temporary. And I couldn't reconcile that in my head. And for the first time, I'm like, these are some of the most successful people I've ever met, but they're the most service driven I've ever met. And the way that they made me feel and the experience that I had. And I tell you, in Atlanta at the bar, I'm going to share with you some stories that happened to me over the course of those few weeks that legitimately changed everything for me when I realized how to do business. Network marketing, I learned from Sheri and I learned from Mazaffer. Business, I learned from Isaac. And when I got a chance to, I was like, all right, I guess I'm doing this. I'm all in. And I resigned a six-figure income, residual income from my previous business, literally resigned it, sent an email to the CEO of the company and said, hey guys, I'm so sorry. I'm going in a different direction. And I joined Secret day one. And when we did that, what I did was I implemented everything that I had learned over the course of those years and just packed it into a 90-day run. And I sponsored 60 people in my first 90 days personally. Now that may seem like a lot, but I was literally doing 18, I mean, it was like 18 hours a day as fast as I could because I literally walked away from my income. So I was starting over from scratch and I had to go make 100 grand. I had to get to 10 grand a month just to really almost cover my nut at that point because I was still living in Orange County at that time. And when you make six figures in Southern California, you still need a roommate. So, and it was such a blur for me, but all I was doing was present, 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 present. How many presentations can I get in front of? Because I knew I needed to get enough people to be in a situation where they could make a decision, yes or no. I wasn't looking for maybes. I didn't have the patience for it. I needed a bunch of yeses as quickly as possible. Maybes I'll come back to later. I'll come, I'll circle back with you. But I needed to get people that were willing to make a yes or no decision as quickly as possible. I'm fine with a no. I'm fine with a yes. Maybe kind of sort. I'll think about it when I'm like, okay, cool, bye. Like I love you. Hit me up when you have thought about it. Like I need to find those people that are those kind of aces in the deck because I got to find a few now sparks that I can run with that aren't like, well, let me get my ducks in a row. Let me, I got a lot of pans on the stove or, those, all those expressions. So, so I ran, and what I want to say is this. So for a six-figure income, this is the thing, is inside of our business, there's this pretty simple model, and it's pretty straightforward if you're building out a structure like ours called a binary, and it's called 20/20 vision. So what's 20/20 vision? 20 left, 20 right, 20 personals left, 20 personals right. So the total is 40. So, and most people making no guarantees, no claims, that this is a guarantee of any kind. However, if you interview and research the people that have made six figures in network marketing or six figures in any binary structure, which is our compensation style, that have gotten there and those that have gotten there quickly, and you kind of take a look at how many personals did you have in order to get to six figures and in what time frame, these are the things that you'll find is very common. It's and let now if you sign up 40 people and you are a horrible human being, then yeah, chances are you're not going to make it. If you sign up 40 people and you don't support them, yeah, of course, you're probably not going to go earn six figures. If you sign up 40 people and you don't go to convention and plug into the program and the systems, yeah, probably not. However, for those that follow the program, get to the events, and personally sponsored 40, the reason why is because then the law of numbers work in your favor. Now, why is that? Well, if you sign up 20, what I've found is that the rule of thumb is that 80/20 rule, right? So 80% of the people will just become joiners, 20% will produce. So if you have 20 on one side, that means four of them will really produce from the 20. The rest of them will just maybe become customers or maybe drop off the face of the earth or join the witness protection program. That happens, right? So, but out of those four, now why is that significant? From the four, you're going to find one what we call rock star, and that's what you're looking for. is somebody that doesn't care, like almost, you're almost irrelevant in it. They're like, thanks for introducing me. Got it from here. So, and what you're looking for is that now is so if you sponsor 20, you get about four producers. Now you might get more, but from those four, you get four producers, one crusher, which is one superstar. And if you got one on your left, one on your right, ta-da, so it's not super complicated. The complicated part of our business is the fact that what most people do in the beginning is they don't go fast enough because they're slowing down because they're waiting for maybes or they get distracted with the no's. And I understand what that's like because getting rejected by somebody is feels like crap. For me, I never felt like I was getting rejected from the business because it never felt personal to me outside of the once I got trained, because from Sheri and Mazaffer, but because I know what personal rejection is like from going on auditions in Los Angeles. So, uh, yeah, my favorite is when you go on a dance audition in Los Angeles and they line you up and they literally go, you stay, you go, you stay, you go, you stay, you go. Why are you still here? Like, go away. And I thought it was a dance audition, not a modeling audition, but apparently I didn't realize as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid, they weren't looking for dancers, they were looking for a look that could dance. So that's personal rejection. I don't like the way you look, leave. So, but when I was saying, hey, are you open to an opportunity? Take a look at this business model, take a look at this. And they were like, I don't like those things, whatever, not for me. I don't like it, blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, you're weird, so. And so in the beginning, I think if you can kind of emotionally detach yourself just from the beginning to get this thing off the ground and go, okay, what's my goal? Again, 2020 vision. All right. So how fast can I get there as quickly as possible? Now, how do I do that? Leverage the daylights out of your support team. You've got Rika, Mazaffer, and Sheri, who are don't have hundreds of thousands of millions of people in their organization. Well, Mazaffer does, right? So, but when you take a look at this, of what it is that you guys have an opportunity to leverage on, this might sound a little bit rude and or mean, but I'm letting you guys know this because you'll never have the opportunity for this group to be this small ever again in the history of this Viago for sure. Because when the thing catches momentum, it catches fire, and it's going to grow really fast. I would literally work Rika and Sheri to death. This would be me. So the reason I know that is because that's what Mazaffer does to me. So I would leverage their skills and their talents so much that they would literally don't have time for. I would be like, now I'm not bothering them with problems. I am leveraging them to do as many contacts, presentations, and speak to as many people as possible. So what I would be doing is like collecting people, going like, hey, it's peak and pass, peak their interest. Hey, I listen, we're launching something and I'm super excited about it. It's a global program where you want to lead with travel, you want to lead with opportunity, whatever, just, whatever they say, do it. But it's like, hey, you find anybody that has any level of interest that's bid on anything where they've been piqued, their interest has been piqued, you know, towards this. And then it's like, I cannot wait to introduce you to my partners, it's like it's almost like you're giddy, like I'm giddy to introduce the people I know to people that I know are amazing and wonderful. So, and through that, that's how I was able to go out there and get it those first 5, 10, 15, 20 as quickly as possible. So because then they weren't making a decision based on me because it didn't have anything to do with me. Because you got to remember, I was a 19-year-old hip hop dancer. Who's listening to me? Nobody. Right. So, but I could say I found something amazing and I can't wait to introduce you to this amazingness. So, and because of that, they weren't looking at me, they just saw my level of excitement. Now, some people are like, this kid is crazy. Like, I don't know that he actually has any idea, but he's excited about it. He believes it for sure, even if they didn't. So that was kind of the process of this. Now, I'll give you one more thing here before kind of we wrap up because I want to give you guys some time to make some invites into this. So obviously, you guys know this. Mazaffer. So how does Mazaffer come into this play? All right. So this is a crazy one. So I'm building Secret, and our first year, we built a team of, gosh, I think we put in almost 100,000 customers. It was wild. We caught fire, And so we're growing. I'm experiencing for the first time in my life income that was in a total. I had to move out of California, because I was like, well, I'm not giving California all this money. This is silly. So it was I experienced for my first time what 10,000 a month to a 10,000 a week. Literally, when I went on this run inside of Secret when we launched it in October 2011, within 6 months, I was making $10,000 a week. A week. So my first year we clipped over a quarter million. My second year was over 500,000, and I haven't seen it gone down since. Now it took me a little while to get from 500,000 to over 1 million and then seven figures. But hey, getting stuck at $500,000 a year is it's not a bad space. I'm just letting you know. And we did that. And the reason why, so we got stuck is so we get a phone call from somebody I know and said, hey, there's a guy coming to town. I think you know him. His name is Muzaffar Nashfi. And I was like, shut the front door. They were like, you know him, right? I was like, absolutely, I know him. And I was like, well, I mean, we're not real close, but we know each other. I don't think he knows me probably, but I know him. And he's like, cool. He's like, he's coming in to interview to be vice president of field development for Secret. And I was like, fantastic. So anyway, Isaac calls me and he goes, I need you to meet with him and see, because if he doesn't work for you and working with you and building in the field, then it doesn't make sense for us, right? So anyway, he meets with Isaac and then he meets with me, and our 30-minute meeting turned into like 3 hours, and we were just catching up on life and everything. And anyway, he ended up coming to Secret, and again, that's a story for Atlanta for you guys on how he got here and the whole process behind that. I'm sure he shared with you. But when he joins, Muzaffar basically became my upline. And what I mean by that is he took on a vice president role, field development. I mean, he was responsible for the training and the events. So we would go around to every place around the US and the world doing trainings, and he was supporting my organization, my team. He was doing game plans. He took it on as like he was the sponsor. Like, and I told him, I was like, listen, I need help. I'm kind of lone man standing here. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. I need a partner in this. I need somebody where we can play off of each other. And I need you to be this. And so it kind of, as it progressed in this, he did. I have never met anybody as consistent as this man. It's been, I don't know, 8 years now. He never misses. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I think I have good work ethic, and I am inspired and also angry sometimes at him because I was like, I don't know how you do this. Like, I have ones where I was like, I can run 100 miles an hour, and then I'm like, I need a break. He has no break button. I don't even know that he knows what it exists, what it looks like. And what I mean is, I've never met anybody that just never misses. His consistency and his work ethic and his ability to be able to, I never knew what it was like to have like an older brother. I never knew what it was like to have or a support team that you could count on like that. I just had never experienced it. And obviously he learned that from Sheri. Now, and what it was like to show up and be professional. And, it was inspiring. And so when he left corporate and decided to transition into the field, he had to choose a sponsor. And at that time, I was like, well, what are you going to do? And there was a bunch of scenarios and situations that didn't end up panning out. And long story short, I was on the basketball court with him, and he was like, what do you think you should do? And I was like, well, I wanted Muzaffar to be in my upline because that was the role he kind of had. And I was like, listen, I would love for you to be in my upline because I've been leveraging you kind of in that role, and it would work great. And Isaac is like, well, we can't do inserts. We're not doing that. So you got to pick a sponsor. So he's like, you're my sponsor now. And I'm like, cool. Now, at the time, I didn't really realize this, but, as much as that was a gift, I didn't realize it's a strategic move. And what I mean by that is this, is Muzaffar's like, here's a kid who's motivated, talented, has different skills than I have, and I'm going to work him like a maniac. So Muzaffar comes into Secret, and literally, I have no life because I'm trying to keep up with this freight train of a human being. No, I'm just kidding. It was one of the most fun, crazy, turbulent experiences because he understood what it was like to have somebody that he could trust and a support team that he could leverage, like Rikka, like Sheri, like Muzaffar. And so he exploded out of the gates, absolutely crushes it. And because of that, ends up bringing in amazing products, bringing in companies through his relationships. Because of that, and negotiating the deals for that we basically got and helped birth. And he wore so many hats, and still even today, from builder to leader to corporate to back end to executive to distribution to pretty much almost everything that you see, this man has been not only involved in, still involved in, and touches. And on top of that, is the most incredible husband and father that I have. Like I pray that my daughter it grows up to be even a slight spitting image of his kids. And when you get a chance to be around Asita and Malika, it is the greatest thing ever. And his wife, Fozia, we connect a lot because we have the same birthday, September 1st. Go Virgos. But Anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up is so we fill different roles. So it kind of became a running joke when he came into the field. It was like Mazafar was the father and I was the mother of the group. It was like, okay, you need a kick in the ass, you go to Mazafar. You need a hug, you come to Jesse. So that was kind of how it worked. And he's like, oh, and then they're like, how are you? And I was like, come here. And although we have very different personalities and styles, we have the same heart for what we're building and fighting for and the community. And so when I tell you how much I just, they're not appreciate isn't a big enough word for Mazafar. And what he has done for me and my family and my life, and having my back no matter what, and supporting me no matter what. Because a lot of times, especially some of the most difficult times, things I've ever gone through in my life, so from divorce to losing businesses to losing big teams to my mom, passing away, dying suddenly the day before flying to a diamond trip to going like, and he's like, listen, bro, I got you. I got you. Do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. I mean, like, oh, God, I can't even, yeah. So you have a couple of the people here to be able to leverage and work with and utilize that. So between now and this, is to work. I know this last 40 minutes was really a big part of just kind of sharing your story. I wanted you to get to know me a little bit more because we haven't got a chance to connect personally. We'll do some more strategic things, but the strategy is the same thing you guys have been doing. And pretty much this is it. Whatever Rika, Muzaffar, and Sheri say, do it. If there's somebody that's a living testament that if you apply the principles that they taught, it's a real and it happens, I'm it. So, and the fact that I have an opportunity to be partnered with them, and my only obligation at this point is to do everything I can to pay it forward to serve them in the way that they have served me. And as we are building this in partnership together. So Rika, when Sheri was telling me, it was amazing, right? So Sheri has this unique thing when she gets lit up about people, her eyes dance, and I can tell you, like when she's telling me, is like, listen, you don't even understand. This woman, two eyes in her name. You know what I mean? Like she's just like, she's so like she's unique, she's special, she's got this, there's just like this it thing, so and what she wants to do here, and she's ready to go on a run, and it's like she knows what that looks like, she's known what it's done before, and she's looking for it. Now for some of you, maybe that's not what you're looking for, but for those of you guys that are ready to go on a run and just literally get a little bit imbalanced for 90 days, so that way you can have complete freedom to make choices that you want, it's definitely worth it. So my suggestion, 2020 vision, how fast can I go get 40 in? How do I do that? As many invites, as many invites, as many invites, as many presentations as I possibly can get on, and then leverage the daylights out of these guys. Like I want you to have Rika doing so many presentations for you. She has no time for her personals, right? So, and leveraging them as much as possible, and then get your booty to Atlanta and get as many people as you possibly can there with you, because that will be your springboard into the rest of this year. So, all right, I'm done jibber jabbering. I will turn it over to you. There might be if there are questions, we'll do another chat. So I apologize. I talked too long. I love these humans, and not just because how people say it all the time. So, oh, this is my brother, and all. No, this is really family, and getting a chance to reconnect with Sheri and see like is amazing. Like we're in Dubai. Sheri's taking care of me. She's doing like 20 different things. And I was like, she's now, you're now my mom, so you are now my adopted mother. So thank you for everything you do and the light that you are in the world. And it was funny. I came back from the event, and we had a 2 day convention in Dubai. Sheri shared her testimonial on being one of the top sponsors from the program, and she was there. And I talked a lot, and Eric talked a lot. And I asked everybody at the end of the event, what was your favorite part of the event? And literally, the majority of the people, you know what their answer was? Sheri Sharman. And I was like, how does this woman accomplish in 9 minutes what we can't do in 2 days? You know, and I'm just telling you, she is so stupid powerful. And so for people, so I love you guys. And Rika, thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you guys. Obviously, if you need to, want to throw me in any group chats or anything like that, I'll be available if I can help you build through Asia. But don't go where you're not. Follow wherever the fire is and then pour gas on it. So don't try to force yourself into a region you're not. Wherever is the easiest, lowest hanging fruit, go after it, run hard, and I will obviously be seeing you guys in Atlanta crossing the stage at your next rank. So, Rika, back to you.
I know Sherry wanted to share a little bit.
Oh,
Thank
please.
you, Jesse. You're so amazing. I'm
Oh, you
And
know, Rika,
I have to jump off real quick, but I just want to say, Jesse, that was amazing. I think I took some hip hop classes from you when I was 25.
Stop
Bye.
it. That's not real, is it?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. No, I was like the one in the tight outfit. And then finally I did the baggy pants. And I think you or one of your instructor buddies was like, we didn't think you had a chance at this, but you're actually getting it. So yeah,
That's
yeah.
amazing. I cannot wait to find a class video of us and post it. So,
Okay, bye guys.
bye, guys.
bye, Jen.
Jen.
And for everybody that's on here, I want you guys to also know that Bob is now working with Rika, which is their amazing, amazing team. And literally, Bob left another company that is similar to what we're doing to work in joint because now you don't just have Rika, you have me, you have Mazaffer, you have Jesse, but you've got Bob, whose mind is amazing in this industry. So it's like pick a personality that you click with, and we will help you build because I know now I got chills even talking about it. I see Bob and Rika walking across the stage as a diamond, and then guess what happens? The rest of us all follow. So it's like for all of you that are on this call, and Jesse said it, you want to run? We're going to run. We are running. Like literally right now, between now and Atlanta, we all have our goals. Number one, get our six. That's our first goal is to get that six. You are going to not only walk across the stage and get your club six little banner thing, the people go crazy. I mean, the whole audience goes more crazy than when you go diamond. There's something about you getting six that is such an accomplishment and getting hugged by, imagine you walk up on stage, you get to say your name, they give you a little plaque, and then you get hugged by not only Isaac, who's the CEO and founder, but the president of the company, Eddie Head. And it's life changing, I promise you, and having everybody applauding you. So please come to Atlanta. Jesse, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you so much. It was you put on the most amazing event in Dubai. It was just like I've never been to more parties, more celebrations, more events. I mean, every single day there was something special going on that I needed to go to be able to tell all of you, those escapes are real. They're amazing. You have somebody that's a doubter about the building the business, get them on an escape. Every single person, 100% of the guests that came on board signed up in Viago afterwards. It was phenomenal. It was just life changing. And I keep saying this over and over again, and you guys hear it. I'm having the time of my life. There's so many people that have said to me, I'm not having the time of my life. And I said, then join us. We want you to. Enrica, thank you for believing in me and everything that you do. And Bob, I'm so happy. Like you have no idea. When you were in Dallas with us, it just everyone was, you're like a magnet. Everybody comes to you, and they, you've got friends from all over here already. And for all of you, I can't wait to see you and give you a hug in Atlanta. And Rika, I got to jump off this call and get on the other one, but I am so happy. And you guys, some people say, well, we do these calls all the time. Well, guess what? That's how you learn. You know, it's repetition is the mother of learning. We want everyone to have that experience of being able to walk across the stage. Jesse said it. He went to work and made $10,000 in a week. That's totally possible here and more. So for all of you, I'm going to jump off. Rika, they're all yours, and hopefully I'll see you all on the next call. Take care. God bless, and happy St. Patty's Day. I changed just for you guys. Love you guys. Sean, oh, there's Sean. Ian. I don't know if you guys celebrate happy St. Patty's Day and there. Oh, you got your green
No, I
tea?
actually forgot that it is. It's St.
Oh,
Patty's Day.
let's go.
There you go. There you go. I got my green banner here, guys. So
All right.
So Jesse, you're still there? I just wanted to tell you, my son Ian actually lives in the Philippines right now, and Gemma, who's on this call, is from the Philippines. She's on Jennifer's team.
sweet. So
Right? So
let me help y'all. So let's blow up. So hello, salamat po. So uh, okay. Yeah, we connect us, and we're very close and prepared to doing some big things. I'm meeting finalizing with the attorneys today for the SEC license of changing from secret to Viago, because I have an SEC license for secret, and we're just switching it over to Viago, and then working on the last steps to be able to take Gcash, which is their local payment system, kind of like a Venmo, on the sign up process. Credit cards, debit cards, Visas, MasterCards all work great for the Philippines, but we have a lot of unbanked people here, especially in the provinces. So we want to get to. So
awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you, Jesse. Thank you all for being on. Let's go.
Let's go. All
I
right.
appreciate. Let's go, Viago.
One question.
Dude.
Okay, how much is the in the Philippines? How much would be? Because
Same. So same. Yeah. So same. We do have a basic membership. So that'll work a little bit better. So for the Philippines, which is $50 a month, but it's a half a point in the system. But right now I would recommend starting, because in the Philippines, as you know, there's a top 10% and the rest. I would start with more the people who've got the money, and then we'll get into the provinces and have a plan for them. So I'll help, but I'll help out. Just put me in a group and we'll be ready to rock, Gemma. Whatever I can do. Okay.
okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you all. Okay, I gotta go too, because I gotta help let people in for the next call, and I have some guests coming. I love you all.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you, Jesse. You're the best. I'm so grateful.